Thousands of tourists come here every day, but while some leave thrilled, others feel they've wasted their money. So is it worth staying at this hotel? Let's find out. Welcome to the Whala Bavaro Hotel. Whala Bavaro is a cozy getaway for those dreaming of an affordable vacation under the Dominican sun. Located just minutes from the famous Bavaro Beach, it's perfect for walks on white sand and swimming in the warm Caribbean Sea. The hotel offers guests a relaxing and peaceful atmosphere to truly unwind. Spacious rooms with air conditioning and balconies provide comfort after a full day. On the hotel grounds, there are several pools, restaurants, and bars serving delicious local and international cuisine. The hotel is also ideal for travelers who want to explore the surrounding area. It's a budget-friendly option, but is everything really so great? The hotel rating is 3.5 on Google, 6.9 on Booking, and 3.5 on TripAdvisor. However, even such a popular hotel has huge drawbacks that may seriously affect your decision. Let's take a closer look at all the pros and cons of the hotel so you can make the right choice. But before we begin, I kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel and support this video with likes and comments. Thank you. When I arrived at Hotel Whala Bavaro, I was really hoping to relax on a beautiful beach like in the photos. But the reality was completely different. To get to the sea, I had to leave the hotel grounds, walk a whole block, and enter through a neighboring adults-only hotel. The beach itself was tiny, much smaller than I expected. Instead of white sand and turquoise water, there were piles of seaweed all along the shore. The smell was terrible. It was hard to breathe. Swimming was impossible. The water was murky and the shore was covered in trash. The beach layout didn't match the website photos at all. Everything looked neglected and abandoned. Even the beach bar didn't help. The idea of drinking something surrounded by dirt was not appealing. I was disappointed and felt deceived. This is definitely not the place to enjoy a seaside vacation. Now let's walk through the hotel grounds. Maybe things are a bit better there. When I arrived at Whala Bavaro, the first thing I noticed was an unpleasant smell that followed me throughout the property. The buildings looked old and run down. Everything needed renovation. The lobby was so small and unattractive that I didn't even realize it was the lobby at first. The territory is quite modest, a bit of greenery and a few deep pools. I actually liked the pools. They were clean and good for swimming. But there was no bar near the pool, which really disappointed me. The restrooms are another story. Dirty, smelly, and I even saw cockroaches there. There was a general sense of neglect and lack of staff. Safety also felt questionable. I realized that anyone from the street could easily enter the hotel grounds. I understand it's a budget hotel, but even for a small price, you want to feel comfortable and safe. Unfortunately, this hotel didn't meet even the most modest expectations. But maybe the food will surprise me? The food at Whala Bavaro was a real disappointment. Every day, the same dishes were served. No variety whatsoever. The buffet mostly consisted of oversalted meat, pasta, and repetitive pork dishes that quickly became tiresome. It felt like being back in a school cafeteria, only worse. There was no air conditioning in the restaurant. It was around 30 degrees, and the food was just left out in the open. Fruits that should have been in a fridge were lying near the chef, preparing tortillas on a huge pan. The menu clearly needed an update. Food was often cold and tasteless. Drinks at the bar didn't help. There was no wine, no mojitos, and I only got a piña colada by sheer luck. Although the bar staff did try, and the service itself was good. There were always queues for meals, and the selection was extremely limited. It felt like everything was made from the cheapest ingredients with no intention to please the guests. After a truly tasteless lunch, I didn't expect anything good from the room, but it managed to surprise me even more. My room at Whala Bavaro was in terrible condition and disappointed me from the start. The room was small, uncomfortable, with peeling paint on the walls and old plumbing. The bathroom constantly smelled of sewage, and from the balcony came a strong, fishy smell. The air conditioner didn't work, and there was no hot water in the shower at all. The toilet wouldn't flush, and a leak in the bathroom only made things worse. Sleeping at night was impossible due to constant noise and mosquito bites. I found several cockroaches in the room, which was especially unpleasant. The TV didn't work, there were no chairs or a couch in the room, and the Wi-Fi was so slow that even checking email was a challenge. I had to ask separately for toiletries and toilet paper. They were often missing. I also heard from other guests that some of them had their belongings go missing, which made me feel even more uneasy. And the worst part was that the hotel and staff took no responsibility in such cases. Are the staff really that irresponsible? The service at Whala Bavaro left me with mixed feelings. The reception staff were especially rude, unfriendly, and didn't answer the phone, which was very frustrating. Most of the staff didn't speak English at all, so it was hard to communicate. It was particularly unpleasant in the bar. They clearly got annoyed when I ordered multiple drinks or dishes at once. The hotel clearly isn't designed for European tourists, and that shows in every detail. The only staff I truly liked were the animators and security team. They tried and were polite. But overall, the staff left a negative impression and the level of service didn't meet expectations. Yet, even in this hotel, I found a small plus. The entertainment at Whala Bavaro was actually something I enjoyed. Every day, there were different activities that added some life to the vacation. The evening shows were especially memorable. They were really well done and suitable for the whole family. Although there was no nightclub at the hotel and the evenings were pretty quiet, I still enjoyed the entertainment program. Overall, the entertainment was on a good level and became one of the few pleasant aspects of my stay. My stay at Whala Bavaro unfortunately left a very negative impression. It all started with the beach, which turned out to be dirty, small, and uncomfortable, with a bad smell, seaweed, and no way to swim properly. The hotel grounds looked neglected and poorly maintained, despite the good location and decent pools. The food was a major disappointment. Repetitive, cold, and tasteless dishes, no air conditioning in the restaurant, and a general feeling of a low-end cafeteria. The room was also a letdown. Dirty, noisy, with broken air conditioning and plumbing, and a complete lack of comfort. Safety was poor, the Wi-Fi barely worked, and insects and bad odors in the room only made things worse. The staff, with rare exceptions, were rude and unwelcoming, especially at the front desk and bar. The only real plus was the evening shows and daily entertainment. They were genuinely nice and brought at least some joy. In all other aspects, the hotel desperately needs a full renovation and a rethink of its service. I do not recommend Whala Bavaro to those who expect a comfortable and pleasant vacation. Friends, but the final decision is always yours, and only you can decide whether it's worth flying to this hotel or not. While you're thinking about it, I also recommend checking out our other videos about Dominican hotels. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next reviews. That's it from me for now. See you soon at the next hotel.